So let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. A few months back at the World Relay Track and Field Championships, America, which has a very strong team in the 4x100, won the gold medal over Canada. And an announcer was doing a post-event interview with Noah Lyles, who I consider one of the most disgusting athletes for the States this year at the Olympics. The cliche, we'll get into that in a second, all the drama involved with him. The interviewer asked Noah Lyles, he said, well, the Olympics coming up, who do you think the main competition would be? He said, Canada's strong, and he went, who? And he asked again, like, politely, and he went, who? And his teammates laughed at it like, what a question that was. Well, Noah Lyles found out who Canada was on October 9th. For the 5 people in the world that don't know that, Olympic champion Andre DeGrasse and his great teammates destroyed the States and the rest of the field in the 4x100, winning an upset gold medal for one of the most dramatic victories of the 2024 Olympics. Now let's put this in perspective. Noah Lyles is a very good runner. He won the Olympic 100 basically by a nose, but he started freaking out before the start of the 200, and the video is there. He was jumping up and down the track, and the track official was telling him to get back in, and he was running around like he's either on steroids or stoned, acting like an American cliche. He finally got in the blocks and finished third. But when he finished third, ladies and gentlemen, he went all drama. He claimed he was suffering from COVID. He collapsed on the track, asked for at least 2 water bottles, hit his lane marker, which got him a yellow card, and was taken off in a stretcher. Now, he didn't want to run the 4x100, and the rest of the relay participants were there. They had probably one of the worst handoffs in 4x100 history, and he finished 7 overall, were disqualified. Now, what's been happening since yesterday? Pierre Trudeau's son Justin, the Prime Minister of Canada, put out a post, I think on Twitter, saying "désolé," which is sorry in French. Now, a lot of the announcers in Canada, a lot of the announcers on CBC TV, radio, are talking to the participants, and I think one of the Team Canada participants said, as soon as I crossed the line, I was saying, Canada who? So that's the big chant since yesterday. Canada who? Now, this is not WWE wrestling where, you know, the famous wrestling team uses who. This was a derogatory who. I want you to look at the video what Lyles said. Now, Lyles has a great talent, but he's got 5-cent personality, and he's turned into a fucking cliche. Americans won pretty well every race or should have won at the Paris Olympics, and God bless them, they have some great runners. But if the United States is the best sprint country in the world, it should have no problem learning how to pass the baton. NBC was asking, Addo Boulder was asking, how can you excuse a mistake like that? When we won in 1976 with Glenroy Gilbert and Esme and Bruni Soin and Donovan Bailey, it was perfect passing. Andre DeGrasse is the captain of our 4x100. He knows how to take the baton, and before he knows how to pass the baton. Relays have been big in Canada since our female 4x100 won all the way back in the late 20s, early 30s at either Olympics or other major events. So from now on, just like Michael Johnson getting his ass kicked in 97 by Donovan Bailey in a 150 match race at Skydome, I think they should run the race again so we can kick their arse a second time. And if it's Friday nights, you got to love Friday nights in Paris, just like Saturday nights in Atlanta. God bless him, Don Whitman. So as it stands right now, Canada's number 1 to 4x100. Noah Lyles is probably the stupidest athlete in current American history. God bless him. He might be on steroids. He might be mentally ill. He might be suffering. I don't know what he's suffering from. I think he's suffering from ego. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at this from a Canadian perspective. We went to the World Relays with every intention to improve our 4x100 team for the Olympics. The United States started it. We finished it. And if you're going to make excuses for Noah Lyles or whatever, he's an infant. Okay? He acts like an idiot. I don't care that he won the 100. Like, it wasn't something that was what he called a marquee event. I grew up watching Bob Hayes and Hines And Carl Lewis, who I believe was on drugs, but at least he was decent when he crossed the line. He was just out there for himself. He never did like Noah Lyles. Look at the video of him jumping around. This wasn't even 100 meters. It was at 200 meters. It was delayed. He should have been thrown out. Now, I think what you should be doing is to test him for steroids or drugs or heavy drugs after the Olympics. If he has been caught, he should be suspended from the Olympics for life. He's a disgrace to what is the marquee event, which is the sprints. You look at the women in 100 and 200 sprints, nothing but tremendous. You look at the rest of the field in the 100. His teammates weren't cracked like that, even though the couple who took part in the WHO event. But, ladies and gentlemen, never underestimate your opponent. For fuck's sake, that's what Canada's been living by for years. Ken Dryden said that best because of the 72 series. You never underestimate your opponent. And you're not running a second-level bunch of Qatarians or Bahrainians that came over from Belgium or Netherlands to run for these oil countries. Andre de Grasse has been a high-level sprinter for years, more than a decade, and the rest of the sprinters for Canada, some also do the 200. It's kind of ironic, all four of our sprinters didn't qualify past the semifinals for the 100 and 200, and we won. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I think CBC or the other network should do is tell the story of the Noah Lyles who all the way to the end event. You could probably sell this to Netflix. That is probably the most dramatic moment. I thought 96 was big with Bailey winning it with the world record after Linford Christie got kicked out for false starts. I never expected in a million years, 28 years later, something could go top the 4x100 that we won in 96. We did break a world record. We came freaking close, but they had someone similar to Noah Lyles in 1996 was Tim Montgomery. You know what he said when Bailey won and in the relays? He said, "We didn't lose the gold. We won the silver." That's not giving credit to your opponent. And Bob Costas, if you're listening to this, which try to overanalyze this, Bob, okay? When there was a transition in North America in the mid-1990s where Canada was turning against the States and also applied to WWE with the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels incident, where the screw job in Montreal where Shawn Michaels raped the Canadian flag and wiped his arse with it before he took away Bret Hart's title and he went to WCW. I'm looking at you, Bob Costas. You never stood up for Canada. After we won, you were questioning for the first time ever if the 100-meter winner wasn't the world's fastest man. You weren't saying that when Justin Gatlin won. You weren't saying that when Johan Blake and everybody else won. Bob Costas and the rest of the American media can kiss my arse. And in the words of Noah Lyles, Canada who? From now until the end of time, the world will blow up and the words will ring out, Canada who? That is like na, hey, goodbye. It's going to be at hockey games, at the Olympics from now on. When the States are losing to Canada, it's going to be called Canada who? Thank you for a new tagline. Thank you, Noah Lyles. You're not getting any money off it. Noah, see a psychiatrist or get a better steroid-induced guy. You are a disgrace to America. America has always had distinguished track and fielders. You are not one of them. You are Michael Johnson of 2024. And by the way, go fuck yourself. Have a good one.